Hey everyone, SolarPrimal here. Pokemon Ruby with only one air run was a solid run. Time for a tough one. Can I beat Pokemon Platinum with only gift Pokemon? Honestly, while planning out the Pokemon I want to use, I realized MNJTV had already done a similar run and pretty much had the exact same team I was planning on using. Plus, we have the added difficulty of these gift Pokemon only runs, where some of the team will have to learn HMs. Although since I am doing a gift only run versus a no catching run, I do have the option of catching other Pokemon for HMs, until I eventually run out of room and will have to use HMs on our gift Pokemon. But we do have the added benefit of being able to swap in and out the caught HM user, for example Fly, Defog, Cut, and Rock Smash. So if I can build my team around the rest of the HMs, we should be alright. I also made a discovery that will come into play later, so I think we'll have a fairly unique run. Let's go over the rules I'll be following. Only gift Pokemon can be used in battle. This does include fossil revivals, but I can also catch other Pokemon for HMs. No glitches or exploits, and no items in battle with the exception of held items. So without any further ado, let's do this. So, no universal randomizer needed here, we just pick Piplup. Honestly, it feels weird for me picking up Piplup over my typical go-to, Chimchar. But I had to think outside the box for this one, so Piplup is a welcome first member of the team. And for our first rival battle is slow. But we eventually knock out Turtwig and level up to 6. Moving on. Professor Rowan allows us to keep our starter and we nickname him Buble. The theming might not make sense yet. And I always forget to check our starter stats sooner, but oh well. It comes with a hardy nature, so neutral across the board. That's fine. As well as the Torrent ability. So, like Blaze, when our HP is low, it'll boost the power of water moves. We won't be seeing our next gift Pokemon for quite some time, so for now it'll just be Buble and I. In Jubilife City, we obtain the Quick Claw and equip it to Buble right away. And with that, we take on our next rival battle. Second verse, same as the first. It takes a while, with Turtwig spamming Withdrawal actually causing Bubble to do more damage, but we eventually knock out Turtwig and level up to 12. As we made our way towards Orberg City, Buble evolves into a Prinplup, also learning Metal Claw. With Metal Claw added to our arsenal, we take on the Orberg City gym leader, Rourke. And this goes about as well as expected, with Buble using Bubble on Geodude and Onix to one-shot them both down. Then with us leveling up to 17. We try for Metal Claw just to see what would happen. Cranidos then uses Pursuit, barely dealing any damage. Then gets healed up, then takes 2 more bubbles before going down. Your rocks have gone soft, Rourke. That's our first gym badge, done and dusted. Arriving in Flororama Town, we battle Team Galactic's commander, Mars. Zubat barely survives Bubble Beam to use Bite on Buble, before being finished off by Metal Claw. Purugly fakes out Buble, so we take a feint attack next turn and use Bubble Beam, getting Purugly down to under half as well as lowering its speed, also triggering its Oran Berry. Despite that, Purugly is still faster to use Scratch and then survives another Bubble Beam. Luckily, our Quick Claw activates to land a third Bubble Beam, knocking out Purugly, ending the battle. Sheesh. More like Pur-tanking, am I right? We get a bit of training done in Eterna Forest since our next battle is up against grass types. And we might as well build up some special attack EVs while we're here. As we arrive in Eterna City, we pick up the Explorer's Kit. This gives us access to the underground where we can farm shards and potentially find our next team member. We are lucky enough to find what we're looking for, a skull fossil. But this might have to wait for the moment as it won't help our odds against the next gym. Speaking of which, we take on Eterna City's gym leader, Gardenia. Against Turtwig, Buble spams Metal Claw in the hopes it'll raise our attack to help boost Peck for later on. But this proves to be a foolish endeavor. So we hit 12 HP, Buble uses Peck to crit down Turtwig. We try Peck again on Cherrim, but it is not enough as it knocks out Buble with Grass Knot. So we try again right away. I changed things up by using Bubble Beam and we managed to crit despite not being very effective. On top of that, we lower Turtwig's speed as it sets up Reflect. Knowing Turtwig will be healed up this turn, we go for Metal Claw, just in case. Strange to see a not very effective move do so much more damage than the rest. But as we get Turtwig to yellow HP, Buble is hit by Razor Leaf. So then the next Bubble Beam finishes off Turtwig. We try for Bubble Beam on Charon and the move crits again before it sets up Leech Seed. With Reflect worn off, we go for Peck, but it underperforms again. Luckily, Charon only uses Safeguard this turn. And then Bubble Beam cleans up Charon. But then Roserade is sent out and knocks out Buble with Magical Leaf. It is clear we need something that gives us more pop. Our next Flying type move that we learn isn't until much later. So, we teach Buble TM88 Pluck instead. This allows us to steal and use the opponent's held berry. And I so happen to know a certain Roserade that's holding a citrus berry. On our next attempt, Pluck does some serious damage to Turtwig before it sets up Reflect. And Turtwig is healed back up, but then takes a crit Bubble Beam fainting from the attack. Bubble Beam crits again on Cherrim as it sets up Safeguard and goes down to the following Bubble Beam. As a bonus, Buble levels up to 29. Being at full HP, my Pluck plan might not work quite yet. So we soften up Roserade with Bubble Beam first as Buble is hit by Stun Spore, becoming paralyzed. Just in time for the Reflect to wear off. So Buble takes a Magical Leaf as we hit with Pluck, but Roserade barely survives with a sliver of HP. But luckily for us, we steal the Citrus Berry and heal back up a little. Gardenia heals Roserade herself as we go for Pluck again. We then send Roserade packing as Quick Claw triggers to land Pluck yet again to knock it out. Hate to see a wilt under pressure, Gardenia. That's our second gym badge, done and dusted. Now it may sound silly, but we trek all the way back down to Oreburgh City just to revive the skull fossil into Cranidos. We nickname Cranidos Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks comes with a docile nature. That's another neutral nature. Cool. And the Bold Breaker ability. Gonna try my best to utilize this, as I typically never tried it before. Y'all gonna be in the comments anyways, remind me on how bad I am at Bold Breaker, so comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Now the reason I felt it was a good time to do this now instead of waiting until after we beat Team Galactic is because I purposely skipped trainers north of Jubilife City. So Pop Rocks is able to farm some levels as we make our way back to Eterna City. Also helps since I missed TM39 Rock Tomb on our first pass through here. Whoops. And we teach Rock Tomb to Pop Rocks, since it doesn't learn any good rock moves until way later on. But this Pokemon is the reason I saw hope for this challenge. More on that later. And right before dealing with Team Galactic, we pick up the item Upgrade. We'll need this for later. So we take on Team Galactic's commander, Jupiter. Zubat is one-shot by Rock Tomb. Skuntank is where we get a bit of trouble with Pop Rocks becoming poisoned from Poison Gas and missing Rock Tomb. Our defense is lowered, but we also get to lower Skunktank's speed as well. Takedown gets Skuntank under half, triggering its Citrus Berry, and then it retorts with Night Slash that crits to knock out Pop Rocks. Buble is in charge and uses Bubble Beam to lower Skunktank's speed further before becoming poisoned. Luckily, the next Bubble Beam knocks out Skuntank, ending the battle. With that, Cynthia shows up to gift us an egg. You'll gift me an egg. And after a ton of back and forth on Cycle Road, the egg hatches into our next team member, Togepi. We nicknamed Togepi Omelette. I could go for an omelet right now. Omelette comes with a calm nature, special defense is up, and attack is down. Perfect. As well as the Serene Grace ability. Well, it beats Hustle. So with Serene Grace, it doubles the chance of a move secondary effect from occurring. This is a fantastic ability for us. Overall, that's a tasty omelet. Now arriving in Hearthome City, we pick up another new team member, Eevee. We nickname Eevee Caesar. Caesar comes with a timid nature, speed is up, and attack is down. That is good and bad for us. But oh well, we'll make it work. As well as the runaway ability, which will change depending on which evolution we go with. And based off the name, you may have guessed which one we chose. Leafeon. Get it? 'Cause salad. Now the dilemma we are faced with is whether we should evolve Eevee right away or not. If we follow how things played out in my Leafeon and Glaceon Platinum run, then we could level Eevee to 29 to learn Bite, which is helpful against the next gym, but it also means we will be without a good physical grass move until much later, unless I teach Caesar Bullet Seed like before. We do have one way to measure this: have Pop Rocks go through the Ghost Gym using Assurance and hope for the best. Let's put the theory to the test. Hearthome City Gym leader Fantina is up. Duskull nearly goes down in one shot to Assurance as it sets up Future Sight. Of course, Fantina heals Duskull back to full as we repeat ourselves. Then the next Assurance knocks out Duskull and we take the Future Sight. Mismagius hits with Shadow Ball, knocking out Pop Rocks in one shot. Buble takes Confuse Ray, preventing our first attack. We're then hit by a crit Magical Leaf before hitting ourselves again, and then getting knocked out after another Magical Leaf. Omelette is up and then down after a crit Psybeam. Caesar unfortunately can't do much against Mismagius since we didn't go through with teaching it Bite, so we are eventually knocked out. On our next attempt, we switch in the Buble when Mismagius is sent out. Quick Claw allows us to attack with Bubble Beam first before taking Confuse Ray. We hit with Bubble Beam again, getting the Citrus Berry to be used. Buble is then hit by Magical Leaf twice before snapping out Confusion and nearly knock out Mismagius with Bubble Beam. Fantina uses a Super Potion before we strike with another Bubble Beam. Buble takes yet another Magical Leaf, going down to 15 HP. This triggers our Torrent ability, so Bubble Beam deals more damage and knocks out Mismagius. Lastly is Haunter, who misses Hypnosis as we knock it out in one shot with Assurance, ending the battle. Dead end ahead for Fantina. That's our third gym badge, done and dusted. Now with that out of the way, we go evolve Caesar into Leafeon. Next we take on our rival. Saravia now has Intimidate, so Pop Rock's attack is lowered upon entering battle, but we still hit with a crit Rock Tomb to knock it out in one shot. We stay in against Weasel, hoping Takedown will, well, take it down, but it survives and hits with Water Gun. Pop Rocks then hits with Ancient Power to knock out Weasel. Grotle is hit by Takedown before using Razor Leaf on Pop Rocks to knock it out. Buble's Pluck deals decent damage before getting knocked out by a crit Razor Leaf. Caesar and Grotle go back and forth for quite a while, like two tanks headbutting. But Caesar eventually comes out on top, knocking out Grotle. Sadly, Caesar is no match for Ponyta and gets knocked out after a couple embers. Omelette is growled before using Metronome, summoning Sacred Fire. So Omelette gets cooked a little by Ember before using Yawn. We take another Ember and the next Metronome becomes Flatter, raising Ponyta's special attack, but also confusing it as it falls asleep. Metronome turns into Bite, and then Mist, then Lucky Charm protecting us from crits. Max Encore, which does nothing. Ponyta wakes up next turn, luckily hurting itself as our Metronome becomes a Ice Ball that misses. Yay! Ponyta hurts itself again, landing on a sliver of HP, allowing the next Metronome to be Poison Fang, finishing off our rival's last Pokemon, leveling up to 18, ending the battle. Man, I can see the joy and dread of Metronome-only runs. Might try one in the future, if I truly hate myself. As we make our way to Veilstone City, Pop Rocks evolves into a Rampardos, but they're not the only one. Omelette also evolves into a Togetic. Now arriving in Veilstone City, we pick up our 5th team member, Porygon. We nickname Porygon Hubba Bubba. HB comes with a mild nature, special attack is up, and defense is down. Perfect. As well as the Trace ability. This allows us to copy an opponent's ability. This could come in handy if I pay attention. There is an NPC that tells us what our Pokemon's hidden power is, so Hubba Bubba is Psychic, Omelette is Water, and Buble is Bug. Only checking those three since they are our special attackers. But I'm probably going to skip out on the hidden power this time around. Now going into this next gym battle, we only have 2 aces up our sleeves. Our brand new Hubba Bubba and Buble. Sadly, Omelette doesn't have any flying moves at the moment, so hopefully Hubba Bubba doesn't burst under pressure. Let's see how this goes. Veilstone City Gym Leader Maylene is up. Meditite uses Fake Out on Buble first turn. We then hit with Pluck next turn, dealing solid damage to Meditite, who responds with Rock Tomb, lowering her speed. Meditite then hits with Drain Punch, recovering a bit of its HP, but our next Pluck knocks it out. Lucario uses Drain Punch, knocking out Hubba Bubba in one shot. Pop goes the Porygon. Pluck gets a tiny bit of damage in before Buble takes a Force Palm. And then the second Force Palm knocks out Buble. Caesar is hit by Drain Punch, and honestly, I don't have anything that can deal damage to Lucario. So we do our best with Sand Attack, Bullet Seed, and Quick Attack until we are eventually knocked out. Unsurprisingly, Pop Rocks is knocked out in one shot to Force Palm. Omelette survives the first Drain Punch and lets off a Yawn. No matter, as the next Drain Punch knocks out Omelette. So we try again. Hubba Bubba at level 32 is able to survive the first Drain Punch and land Psybeam, but it's not enough as the next hit of Force Palm knocks out HB. We use Caesar to spam Sand Attack on Lucario until our Caesar fades. This allows Omelette to dodge the first Force Palm to set up a Yawn. Force Palm hits next turn as Omelette uses Charm to sharply lower Lucario's attack before it falls asleep. While Lucario sleeps, we go for Charm again. Omelette then tries Metronome, and we get a Fissure that misses. Lucario wakes up and he fires, and he missed. Metronome conjures a Whirlwind, switching out Lucario for Machoke. Whoops. So then a crit Cry Chop knocks out Omelette. Then the risks with Metronome. Buble uses Pluck, not doing much damage. But Machoke fires a Rock Tomb and he missed. So Pluck gets another hit in before the next Rock Tomb hits, lowering Buble's speed. Then Strength knocks out Buble. Prop Rocks uses Takedown to send Machoke to the locker room. We then get some bad luck against Lucario, seemingly surviving Force Palm with 3 HP, but then becoming paralyzed and not able to attack before getting swiftly knocked out. So, seeing we can't quite deal with Maylene's Lucario at the moment, I decide to continue south towards Pastoria City. Upon arriving, we meet the move relearner. Here we get Omelette to relearn Magical Leaf, and Caesar to learn Razor Leaf. These should come in handy against the Water Gym. While training, Buble becomes an Empoleon. We also teach Caesar Aerial Ace in the hopes it'll aid us in our rematch against Maylene. Speaking of which, we get about the same results with Caesar using Aerial Ace on Meditite, but we knock out Meditite with Quick Attack. We use Omelette to lay on Charm on Lucario despite the first Drain Punch critting. This proves useful as Omelette gets another Charm in before becoming paralyzed by Force Palm and using Yawn. Omelette gets one more Charm in before Lucario falls asleep. We then try for Metronome for fun before switching to Hubba Bubba. With Lucario asleep, Hubba Bubba gets 2 free hits of Psybeam in, with the second critting to knock out Lucario. Caesar then hits with Aerial Ace twice to knock out Machoke, ending the battle. No more being Maylene's punching bag. That's our 4th gym badge, done and dusted. Right as we approach Pastoria City's gym, our rival runs up for a battle. I can see why folks hate the double team strategy, as Barry's Staravia causes us to miss every single ancient power we attempt. Omelette gets at least to use Yawn, but that's about the only thing that connects. Oh, and one Charm manages to sneak in. Pop Rock's attempts to make sense of this battle, but is met with the same shenanigans and misses Rock Tomb before the 9th one manages to make contact with Staravia to knock it out in one shot. Sheesh. Weasel is one shot by Caesar's Razor Leaf. Have some tossed salad. Ponyta is one shot by Buble's Bubble Beam. Grotle proves to be more resilient and takes 3 hits of Aerial Ace before going down, ending the battle. And with that out of the way, we take on the Pastoria City Gym Leader, Crasher Wake. Omelette is sent out against Gyarados' Intimidate. He is also hit by Waterfall before using Charm twice in a row. But Gyarados uses Brine to knock out our Omelette. Gyarados' Brine hits Pop Rocks hard before we respond with a couple Rock Tombs to knock it out. Quagsire barely survives Razor Leaf to hit Caesar with Water Pulse, confusing us. Crasher Wake heals Quagsire back to full as Caesar hits itself in confusion. The confusion has Caesar unable to attack again as we are hit by Rock Tomb. And then we miss the next Razor Leaf, but Quagsire misses Rock Tomb as well. Confusion strikes again as we take another Rock Tomb. Luckily, Caesar snaps out of it next turn to hit with Razor Leaf before getting yawned at. Quick Attack does knock out Quagsire the following turn, but Caesar falls asleep. Floatzel deals a crit crunch on Hubba Bubba, and we respond with Signal Beam before getting knocked out by the next crunch. Too bad we weren't 4 levels higher. So it's Buble to the rescue and tells Floatzel he doesn't give a pluck and takes his Citrus Berry before getting hit by Crunch. The two go back and forth with more plucks and crunches until eventually knocking out Floatzel, ending the battle. You're all washed up, Crasher Wake. That's our 5th gym badge, done and dusted. Leaping way ahead to Celestic Town, we pick up the Choice Specs and the King's Rock. So after our first battle with Team Galactic's boss Cyrus, which is practically handled with Rock Tomb and a bit of help with Buble, we obtain HM03 Surf, and then we teach it to Pop Rocks. Now hear me out. The only one that can learn Waterfall is Buble, and I'd like to avoid teaching him 2 HMs, if possible. But I could be just second guessing myself. I might change my mind later. We'll see. And I forgot about this rival battle at Canalave City. Great. Staravia is now a Staraptor and is still just as annoying. So we swap in the Pop Rocks as it spams Double Team. Luckily our first Rock Tomb hits and almost knocks out Staraptor. We go for Surf just in case Barry chose to heal up, but we missed. But then, I can't make this up, Staraptor uses Takedown to knock itself out. Congratulations, you just played yourself. Floatzel uses Aqua Jet on Omelette before getting hit by Magical Leaf. Floatzel tries again, I guess expecting different results, before getting knocked out by the next Magical Leaf. Rapidash hits with Takedown before feeling Omelette's Ancient Power. Barry's Pokemon repeats the turn as it is knocked out, and Omelette levels up to 40. Heracross uses Brick Break on Buble, who responds with Pluck, nearly knocking out the Blue Beetle, but with it surviving to land the next Brick Break, popping our Buble. Hubba Bubba takes massive damage from Heracross's Brick Break before using Psybeam to squish Barry's Bug. It's grass versus grass as Caesar lands a crit Aerial Ace before Terra takes a bite out of our Croutons. But the Parmesan is strong with Caesar as it finishes off Torterra with the following Aerial Ace, ending the battle. I went full dad mode on those puns. We make a stop over at Iron Island to pick up HM04 Strength. So I change my mind and have Pop Rocks forget Surf and learn Strength, and then teach Buble Surf. Back at Iron Island, after teaming up with Riley, we are gifted an egg. You'll gift me an egg. This will be our final team member, Riolu. This Pokemon will be useful for the next couple gyms, so I take the time to hatch our egg. And after a bit of cycling up and down, Riolu emerges. We nickname Riolu Blueberry. It's all food. Blueberry comes with a hasty nature, speed is up and defense is down, as well as the steadfast ability. Pretty happy with these results overall. Now for some training. While training, Blueberry quickly evolves into a Lucario and learns Bone Rush. And with that, we take on the Canalave City Gym Leader, Byron. Caesar uses Dig on Magneton to knock it out in one shot and leveling up to 42, as well as leveling up Blueberry to 24. Steelix is one shot by Surf. Bastiodon survives Surf and eats its Citrus Berry as it sets up Iron Defense. I'd be worried if we were attacking with physical moves, but Surf finishes off Bastiodon, and then Blueberry levels up to 25, ending the battle. Like father, like son, we steal this victory. That's our 6th gym badge, done and dusted. Not only that, we obtain TM91 flash cannon and teach it to Buble. Don't worry, Blueberry will learn some good moves later. While trudging through this blizzard, we pick up HM08 rock climb and teach it to Blueberry. Next, we climb our way to Snow Point City to take on gym leader Candace. Blueberry makes her debut and she takes a bit of damage from Aerial Lace before using Aura Sphere, taking down Sneasel in one shot. Piloswine is one shot by Surf. Obama Snow takes Aurora Sphere before using Focus Blast to knock out Blueberry in one shot. Bublé's Pluck almost knocks out Obama Snow, but it survives and hits with Focus Blast. So Candace heals her Pokemon back to full as Buble tries its new Flash Cannon, nearly knocking out Obama Snow. So the next Flash Cannon finishes the job. Frostlass is last, but the first move it uses is Double Team, causing Rock Tomb to miss. The all too familiar spam of Double Team continues, but our next Rock Tomb lands, with Frostlass barely surviving the hit, triggering its Citrus Berry. Frostlass goes for Blizzard, bringing Pop Rocks down to 20 HP before another Rock Tomb hits to knock out Candace's final Pokemon, ending the battle. Pokemon and chill? Yes please. That's our 7th gym badge, done and dusted. Now I might as well address this now. We are able to evolve Omelette into Togekiss. I just didn't worry about this quite yet, as it would have been useful for the Ice Gym. And we also need to collect more heart scales to have it relearn a couple moves. We take a break from collecting gym badges to progress the Team Galactic plot. As we travel up Mount Cornet, we pick up TM80 Rock Slide and teach it to Pop Rocks, replacing Rock Tomb. Rocks. As we finish battling Team Galactic on top of Mount Cornet, I realize that we picked up the dubious disc at Team Galactic's HQ. So I might as well evolve Hubba Bubba. This does change our ability to adaptability, so level 51 will be a blessing. All of these Team Galactic battles have been a relative cakewalk, with the exception of the infamous battle against Cyrus in the Distortion World. Houndoom is one shot by a quick Call-Out Surf. Gyarados' Ice Fang misses as it is hit by Ancient Power, not doing much damage. So Omelette uses Air Slash for a bit more damage before getting chomped with Ice Fang. And wouldn't you believe it, this freezes us. I can't make this up. We remain frozen the entire time until Togekiss is eventually knocked out. Oh man, nobody wants a cold omelet. So Pop Rocks is sent out in the hopes of finishing off the Water Onix, only to get one shot by Waterfall. And if HB could sigh, yeah. Hubba Bubba uses Discharge on Honchkrow, getting it to red HP and paralyzed. But Cyrus gotta ruin our fun by using a full restore on Honchkrow as we hit with Signal Beam, allowing the next Discharge to knock out Honchkrow. Weavile uses Fake Out on Blueberry, but this activates her Steadfast ability, raising her speed. Bad news for Weavile, as it is one shot by Aura Sphere. Crobat is faster, landing Confuse Ray first, but HP's Discharge still lands to deal heavy damage. Cross Poison hits, but Hubba Bubba shrugs it off with Discharge, knocking out Crobat, ending the battle. With that out of the way, we take the time to backtrack for TM26 Earthquake and teach it to Blueberry. Now on to the final gym battle in Sunny Shore City against Volkner. Jolteon lands Iron Tail before Caesar digs underground, causing the next Iron Tail to miss and nearly knocking out Jolteon in one shot. So Volkner heals Jolteon as Caesar garnishes Jolteon with Razor Leaf. Caesar takes a crit Iron Tail before using Dig again to knock out Jolteon. Raichu is one shot by Earthquake. Luxray survives Earthquake to use Fire Fang on Blueberry, but the next Earthquake finishes the job. Electivire takes Earthquake like a champ, healing itself with Citrus Berry, and then knocks out Blueberry with a crit Thunder Punch. Caesar digs to safety, dodging Fire Punch, and then finishes off Electivire, ending the battle. Shocking, really. That's our 8th gym badge, done and dusted. Afterwards, we have a quick chat with Barry and then Jasmine to obtain HM07 Waterfall, our final hidden move of the game, and we teach it to Buble for the time being. Now, it is time for our final rival battle at the Pokemon League. Staraptor is one shot by Discharge.
Heracross is one-shot by Aerial Ace. Rapidash hits Beyblade with Fire Blast before going down in one shot to Surf. Hubba Bubba uses Tri-Attack, dealing a ton of damage to Torterra as it responds with Leaf Storm. But another Tri-Attack knocks out Torterra, and Hubba Bubba levels up to 53. Floatzel is one-shot by Discharge. Snorlax shows it's more than just a pretty face as it survives Aura Sphere and hits with Earthquake, getting Blueberry down to 38 HP. But the next Aura Sphere crits to knock out Snorlax, ending the battle. So since we have arrived at the final stage, we don't have any need for HMs. Some we'll keep, some we won't. And here's our team before we take on the Pokemon League. I was hoping to have the team a bit higher level, but I don't want to waste any more time level grinding unless we have to. We all know Cynthia will give us the most trouble, but we shall see. Leave your final guesses if we can win or not. And without any further ado, let's do this. First up, Elite 4 Aaron. The Yanmega uses U-turn, so our Rock Slide gets dashed onto Scissor instead. Not too bad for damage actually. And then another Rock Slide knocks out Scissor. Omelette survives Stone Edge from Heracross and uses Air Slash to knock it out in one shot. Blueberry takes aim with Earthquake, getting Drapion to under half, triggering its Citrus Berry, and it responds with Aerial Ace. Okay. But Drapion survives with red HP, and hits Blueberry with another Aerial Ace. Naturally, Drapion is healed back to full, so we try for Aura Sphere, doing about the same amount of damage. And then the next Aura Sphere finishes off Drapion. Yanmega is sent out again, this time using Bug Buzz, nearly knocking out Pop Rocks, but we live with 1 HP and land Rock Slide to knock out Yanmega in one attack. Then Vespiquen is one shot by Rock Slide, ending the battle. Next is Elite 4 Bertha. Wishcash is one shot by a crit Razor Leaf. Gliscor shakes things up with Earthquake, bringing Beyblade down to 38 HP before going down to a single Ice Beam. Beyblade then goes Ultra Instinct mode by knocking out the rest of Bertha's team with one-shots of Surf to each of them. Surf's off, Beach Mons. Blazing in third is Elite 4 Flint. Like a bad sequel, Beyblade knocks out Houndoom after a couple Surfs. Though I should be careful with Sunny Day up. We sent out Hubba Bubba to use Psychic on Infernape, but its boosted Flare Blitz obliterates our virtual Pokemon. Infernape does take recoil damage, but it's bittersweet. Beyblade is able to muscle through the Flare Blitz to land Surf and knock out Infernape. Magmortar takes Surf and wipes out Beyblade with Thunderbolt. Luckily, the sunlight goes back to normal. So Magmortar's Solar Beam takes a couple turns to use, allowing Pop Rocks to use Rock Slide to knock out Magmortar and level up to 53. Rapidash sets up Sunny Day again, but Rock Slide is able to one-shot down. Flareon slips a Will-O-Wisp on Pop Rocks, who uses Rock Slide, but our Lord attack causes Flareon to live. Flint heals Flareon, so we try Strength. Flareon lets out an Overheat, but Pop Rocks lives with 4 HP and uses Strength again. Sadly, the burn knocks out Pop Rocks in the end. Omelette sees things cooking and uses Ancient Power to knock out Flareon, ending the battle. Seeing our victory ahead is Elite 4 Lucian. Mr. Mime sets up Light Screen to raise the team's special defense. Lucky us, as we use Assurance, nearly knocking out Mr. Mime in one shot. So Lucian heals Mr. Mime as we hit it again. Mr. Mime uses Psychic, dealing heavy damage to Pop Rocks, but the next Assurance knocks him down. Bronzong is definition wall, so many of our attacks aren't able to make much impact. But we do get lucky with a Dark Pulse that not only crits, but flinches Bronzong, allowing us to hit with another Dark Pulse to knock out Bronzong. Omelette is whammed by Gallade's Stone Edge before using Air Slash in return. The next Stone Edge misses, so Omelette hits with Air Slash again. But Gallade survives and then uses its Citrus Berry. So Stone Edge lands next turn to knock out Omelette. Caesar saves the day and uses Aerial Ace to knock out Gallade. Hubba Bubba is hit by Psychic as it uses Signal Beam. So unfortunately, our Hubba Bubba loses its pop as it is knocked out by a crit Psychic. Espeon cleans up Pop Rocks and Blueberry with a Signal Beam each. Ouch. Beyblade calls for enough as a quick Clawed Surf knocks out Espeon in one shot. Alakazam uses Focus Blast on Beyblade, but survives with 9 HP and uses Surf. Lucian heals Alakazam with a full restore as Buble hits again with Surf. But then Psychic knocks out Buble. Caesar is able to take a hit from Psychic before finishing off Alakazam with Razor Leaf, ending the battle. That was close. Too close. Now it's time for our final battle against champion Cynthia. Omelette hits with Air Slash before being struck with Dark Pulse. This repeats itself until we come close to knocking out Spiritomb, but don't quite make it. So we go for Ancient Power as Spiritomb is healed back to full. Next turn, Spiritomb is swapped out for Lucario, who takes a shot of Air Slash. That sort of worked. But Lucario uses Stone Edge next turn to knock out Omelette. Blueberry hits with Earthquake, and it was at this moment I realized Aura Sphere would have been the better move as Blueberry is knocked out. Caesar digs down, dodging Aura Sphere, returning back up to knock out Lucario, and Caesar levels up to 52. Togekiss launches Aura Sphere at Pop Rocks, who goes down in one shot. Aura Sphere hits again, but Buble uses Ice Beam, doing okay damage. We are then hit with another Aura Sphere, this one critting to knock out Buble. Hubba Bubba hits with Discharge, getting Togekiss down to 1/10 HP. But Aura Sphere is too strong. Caesar tries for Aerial Ace, but it is not enough to knock out Togekiss as we are hit by Air Slash, knocking out our last Pokemon. Not surprising that we couldn't win this on the first go, but we did pretty good. We're definitely going to need some more levels if we hope to see victory. And after spending all night attempting this, we eventually find ourselves a good run. I even use up all the rare candies we had collected along the way. Spiritomb is knocked out after a couple surfs while getting a bit of damage in with Shadow Ball in between. Garchomp is one-shot by a Quick Clawed Ice Beam. Blueberry vs Lucario, our Aura Sphere hits first to knock out Lucario in one shot. Hubba Bubba's Discharge paralyzes Togekiss first turn. The second paralyzes our foe again, but leaving it with a bit of HP remaining. This causes Cynthia to heal Togekiss back up as we try for Tri Attack, getting it to crit in the process, knocking out Togekiss. Hubba Bubba uses Tri Attack on Milotic, but it uses Mirror Coat, reflecting double damage right back at us, knocking out Hubba Bubba. Didn't see that coming. Caesar uses Razor Leaf, nearly knocking out Milotic, as it goes for a Mirror Coat again, but it fails since we weren't using a special move. Cynthia is able to heal Milotic back to full as 2 Razor Leaves hit in a row, bringing it down to a pixel of HP. And then Caesar is hit by Ice Beam, going down to 23 HP, and uses 1 more Razor Leaf to knock out Milotic, leveling up to 57. Roserade is up using Sludge Bomb and poisoning Omelette, but it is hit by a crit Air Slash, knocking out Cynthia's last Pokemon, ending the battle, crowning us the new champion. Oh boy, that was a struggle in the end, but we did it. We beat Pokemon Platinum with only gift Pokemon. I had a lot of fun revisiting Sinnoh once again. Leave your suggestions for future challenges I could try. I'd love to hear from you. For our next challenge, we have a fun one suggested by viewers like you. Can I beat Pokemon Fire Red with only 1 Jinx? I'm very curious how that one will go. So, until then you guys, this is SolarPrimal signing out, and bye for now.